Hello and welcome back to the forecast for episode 9, and we are standing.
Outstanding.
And why? Because 3's a streak.
Yeah. We're done in sitting. We're now outstanding, so
Correct.
It's perfect.
So we'll go ahead and roll into this last week's games, and with a quick mention of the Pensacola games. First game, solid.
Yeah, short memory span.
Yeah, so just kind of sick last week, so...
Yeah, I was under the weather most of the weekend, and I caught maybe half hour of the first game, and I didn't even see the Saturday game, so... But I heard they got a win, and that's good, so...
Win's a win. So, rolling into that is these last two games against Evansville. The first one at home on first one at home on Thursday.
Yeah, the early game, that was
great.
Saturday. That was a great game.
Oh, yeah, we'll go ahead and get right into Thursday's game here, though. Right in the first in game one, good early pressure. I thought the Storm came out really well in the home crowd.
Oh, yeah. It was a great turnout for an early game on a Thursday, so...
No, absolutely. And then new guy, Dante DePonio.
Yeah, he got an assist right off the bat.
He did, and then also had a huge hit in the first.
Oh, yeah. He has a sick game.
This was the legal hit. The illegal hit in the first.
Yeah.
And even if you watch him in warm-ups, just a very quick guy. Really focused. I believe it was his first pro game, too, so probably had a little bit of the nerves there.
Well, yeah,
helping him out.
He looked good. He looked like he belonged there, so...
Yep. So early on in the first, going through, Stachevski buries one to make it 1-0. So going up early against Evansville is always good because they've had most of the year.
I've talked about it so much, and it's so great to see it happen. It's just the shot for the rebound, and he's right place, right time, and he buried it. It was a sicky drop pass, take the shot there for the rebound. I mean, it looked really good.
Right. And then, so answering right back, Evansville drives the net, kind of on a caught flat-footed moment for the D. Kind of drives around him and gets it in on the short side against Brent. So it made it 1-1. And then is where DePonio decides to just smoke some guy from behind.
Yeah, it was questionable, but
yeah. So he did get a 1-game suspension for that, but first game.
Well, got the jitters, man.
Already got the first suspension out of the way, so
you
that's
got
good.
a point, a suspension, a lot of firsts. Damn, dude.
Did it all.
I love that.
And also, though, after that penalty, Evansville took a penalty in retaliation there.
I saw that,
It wiped out the 2 minutes from the other one, so that was very kind of them to give that back to us. So that puts it at 4v4, and who but 93 Leaf Matson burying it on the 4v4 to put us up 2-1.
That's my guy, man. He's insane.
And then after that, the game just started to...
It just opened up.
Yep.
Cavist.
Yep.
Cavist.
Cavist, huh? What is Cavist?
That's not a word.
Cavist. Stachevski gets another one with a tip. Stachevski gets another one with a tip and in front.
Yeah, that one was
3-1.
Sweet. Who took the shot on that? Because I was sitting right there on top of it.
Was it Sanders?
No, I think it was a defenseman. Either way, it was sick. Dude, it was a sick shot. The way he just get a little bit of it, he didn't even turn around.
Yep.
He threw us like he knew that he just got it and it went
Stick on the ground.
Yeah.
Yep. So it made it 3-1 there. The whole team, pretty much the whole game, at this point in the game is when I noted it because I started to notice it. Just mauling our boy Slim.
Yeah, I don't know.
What did he do
Maybe
to them?
He was on call-up with somebody who came back there or something. Maybe said something.
I don't
it was
know.
Noticeable.
But yeah, everyone was just going after him, and I'm not sure.
He looked like he had no idea what he'd done, though.
He's just like, why?
Face, what is going on?
Yeah, because they're off every draw. It seemed like the guys were just falling on top of him every time.
Well, there is some. I don't know that there might be a little bit of a thing when you go up to the coast for a while and then you got to come back. Maybe
thinking you're all hoity-toity or something.
Maybe, I don't know. That'd be my only guess. Is it's right. You get a little target on your back, maybe.
Right. So as it goes on, Sanders gets another one.
Yeah, and
making it 4-1.
So explosive.
Yeah, Sanders. The speed that Sanders has brought to the team is ridiculous,
dude. It's like almost American League speed.
Yeah, he's so fast.
Fast.
And then, so right after the 4-1 goal, Mo and Simino decide to go over at the benches.
Yeah, that's a great tilt.
solid scrap. Mo and Simona, both big heavyweight guys. And that just, again, starts to set things off. And let me remind you, all of this is still in the first period. So
well, the final score of the first period, I think, was 4-1, and there were 3 fights.
The 3 fights after the first, because right after
spoiler alert,
right after Mo and Simona go, the Don Nick Panucci goes with Adams on Evansville, wins the fight, gets the takedown, but kind of lands on his leg a bit weird. Thankfully, I mean, from watching the replay, it doesn't look like he landed on his knee.
No, I think it was the ankle. I was scared at first. Thought it might have been something kind of serious. It's like he didn't even know it was hurt until he put his weight. He was probably all flowing with adrenaline. And that's scary, sure. Dude. I thought he was just celebrating funny, because he was kind of
I did too.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of a weird look. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I
grabbed my face in horror.
Because initially when I was watching, I'm like, oh, no, like his knee just exploded. But no, thankfully it's looking like it's not that.
No, that's good. I'm glad. I hope he comes back soon.
Right. And then, and again, after that, one of the Massey brothers gets absolutely smoked along the side. And who but Sanders stepping in
Sando.
For
but
his
he
boy.
fought like another guy his size. That was Litke.
Yeah, and I mean, Sanders is one of the new guys. He's not fought before.
Yeah, they're both skill guys.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely a skill guy, not really a fighter. So really cool to see him stepping in.
Well, so was the guy he fought, Litke, 39. He's also like a little skill guy. So I was like, that's crazy. It's like, dude, I think the game just glitched. Like,
right,
the little guys are fighting.
So ending the first up 4-1 with 3 fights. I mean, watching that period of hockey reminded me...
That's a game of hockey.
Yeah, that it reminded me of, like, UHL Mallards days, where you just go and then the puck would just be going in every 5 seconds. Dudes throwing punches every 5 seconds. Like, it was insane.
Like, the games would take 3.5 hours, because...
Yeah.
Each period would take 45 minutes plus. Like,
God. So rolling into the second, right off the draw, Slim Smirnov is part of the starting lineup for the second. And he goes out there and again gets mauled. This goes on all game. I don't know why. And Evansville just kind of looking defeated. Not on their game.
I mean, honestly, I thought that they looked like they were trying to keep finding ways back in it. Like they were like going to, keep putting it on net, keep driving the net, keep fighting. I don't know. I didn't think they looked super defeated. They just looked like maybe frustrated that they were trying their hardest and nothing worked.
And I mean, it yielded there. They gave one up. The Storm game lit up because they got a bunch of traffic in net. Brent had no way of seeing it.
They slowed down a little bit after they came out in the second, and they dropped a gear.
Yep.
And it's like how Peoria plays. It's like how you play when you're winning.
Right. Right after that, Sanders once again turns on the Jets.
Yeah.
Blows by and pots one.
Because that's what they were doing. They were just throwing it down there all game, and he finally got by. So I think they shot like 1 for 5 in the second.
So making it 5-2 Storm there after Sanders' goal. And then another time, Kirkendall absolutely smokes someone along the bench.
Yeah.
And immediately they drop the gloves. Another fight.
Yeah.
So good on him on that one. I don't know if that was maybe someone who had mauled Slim or did something, but he was intent on that with that hit.
That's why you like to have a guy like that on your team.
Yep. And then so as play goes, those guys go off for 5 minutes, and Leaf ends up with a breakaway later in the period, but gets tripped on it. I mean, so supposedly it was not a breakaway, but gets tripped on the breakaway. We get a penalty. We get a power play.
A penalty.
So actually that actually ended up working against us because that power play was one of the worst I've seen all year. Evansville had
I think least 3 2-on-1s.
At least 3 scoring chances.
Three individual 2-on-1s. I don't know. They were there. They were able to break it out like that 3 successful times.
But thankfully, Brent came up big.
Just
did
huge.
Not give one up there. That was huge there going into the third.
All weekend.
And then going into the third, the Storm keep up the pressure initially and then start to shell up kind of halfway through or so.
Yeah.
And then Tommy catches a stray stick real good. Real good, like right in the mouth. So they get a 4-minute double minor, but
Mo
decides to give some business there, and
that's your captain. That's your guy. Like
gets reduced, gets the power play reduced down to 2 minutes. And they just kind of grind the rest of the game out. Finishing strong, a 5-2 win with 4 fights at home.
Especially against just a team like you've kind of struggled against all year, home and away.
Absolutely sweet to get
and they
came over.
And it was like over after the first, and that's a good feeling. And
that's
you don't want to rest on it, but like you come out like that against the team that you've been struggling against, and you just like you feel so much better about yourself.
Right. So the boys pick up a big win at home. Heading into Saturday.
So you got the night off.
Yeah.
Both teams are feeling good. They have a little bit of an advantage there at home.
Yeah. So heading into Saturday in Evansville, Evansville came out gunning in the first. Definitely outshot the Storm heavily in the first.
Yeah, it was like 8-1 at one point. The Storm, before they took a penalty.
Storm had a couple of chances in a power play, but overall, just Evansville came out very hot in the first. Still ended the first 0-0, so again, big on Moran for coming up with the big saves.
After about the 10-minute mark, it was pretty competitive, but Evansville dominated the first 10 minutes. So
no, absolutely. And then heading into the second, Tommy goes to the net with Massey up at the blue line, and Massey throws it on, and it seems like Tommy almost gets a piece of it, but he doesn't.
I thought he did.
I thought he did as well. It looked like he kind of shot it there after the rebound.
When they put it on, the stat sheet, I was sure they were going to change it later.
Right.
So,
but ends up being Massey's first pro goal. Cole Ceci protests
heavily
with the goalie interference supposed, but
I would have been amazed if they would have waved it off. It's just not something that you overturn. Sure, you get your glove on top of it, and then a pile comes in and pokes. That happens. That happens all the time. That's part of hockey. That's not goalie interference.
Yep. And then, luckily for Evansville, Curtin turns right around and snipes one.
They do that. That is their MO. Like, get scored on, score right away.
Snipes one clean on Moran, making it 1-1, tying it up.
I think they have to see how to do it, and then they're like, oh, that's how we score. And then they score.
And I mean, definitely an opportunistic game for the Storm. Didn't have a whole lot of offensive pressure, but needed to capitalize on what they had. As the second goes on, towards the end of it, Giroux getting mugged on the way to the net gets a weird doinker that somehow manages.
He just kept putting it on. I think you couldn't tell from the replay, but I think he just got his own rebound.
Yeah, I mean, and he's like one-handed. Dude's like halfway in a fight when he scores the goal. Like
even to and through it, like after he scores, they like bounce him to the ice. Like, he ground that one out. That was sick.
So that was huge going up 2-1, going into the third. They all ended up trading chances in the third. The Storm kind of picked things up, but they also are taking chances.
Yeah.
So slight Evansville tilt to the chances, but definitely more involved from the Storm at that point for sure. And then the Storm take a trip in this period.
Yeah.
Again, getting kind of caught a little bit flat-footed, trying to reach back.
I wasn't crazy about that call, though.
Yeah, I mean, just can't put yourself in that position, I guess.
At that point, they'd overlooked a couple of different calls from each team that were like pretty ticky-tacky, and then, I don't know, maybe that must have just been the straw that broke the camel's back. But I really, at that point in the game, I just don't think you put it into the power play.
Right, because especially towards the end of the third, given that, right, I think there was like 6 minutes or something left or so.
Give or take, it just seemed like he put the whistle away. So,
and I mean, they had the power play, and even when the power play was up, they had so much pressure, and they pulled the goalie, and it was just a gigantic Evansville push at the end of the third. I mean, Brent just standing on his head, making every single save. So they force OT. Going into OT, Evansville wins possession.
And that's just all it was.
Yeah. Evansville wins possession off the face-off, and that's...
In 5, I think the shots were 2-0.
They just kind of maintain possession and don't really...
I think both teams wanted to take it to a shootout.
Yep. So going to a shootout, we got CC versus Moran. First to score is... I
think it was...
Oh, what's his name? I can't remember. But
Curtin.
Curtin beats Mo clean.
Made a move and then sniped.
Shifty little moves. But Leaf comes back and ties it right up with one of the nastiest moves I've seen all year.
He did his move and then added a variation.
And just a nice little backhand, and then CC goes flying to the right, and Leaf's got a wide open net.
Finishing forehand, oh man, that was like, whoa.
Yep, so that ties it back up. They trade a couple more times. Leaf's got another opportunity. Doesn't quite get all the puck on that one. And then... Stachevsky
Yeah, the kid.
Absolutely roofs it. One of the best backhand shots in the league. I think he scored backhand on at least half his goals, if not more.
I like to call him the chef because he's always cooking up that backhand.
Like, just incredible
he's
goal.
So good on his backhand.
Incredible goal in the shootout by him. So the boys pick up yet another win.
Yeah. I mean, courtesy of Brent Moran, that Saturday night was just all... I hope somebody got him an ice pack or something.
No, absolutely.
He shouldered the load. His back has to be killing him.
Brent Moran having an incredible weekend.
The forecast is brought to you by Live Well Chiropractic and Wellness. Go where the players go. Go to Live Well. And now, as a special offer for our listeners, go to Live Well and use the discount code FORECAST for a free Storm Any Game voucher of your choice. The forecast is also brought to you by Fordyce Fence and Deck. Go see those guys for any of your fence and deck needs or renovations to your home. They do top quality work, and we appreciate the support. Thank you.
At Live Well Chiropractic and Wellness, their staff specializes in more than just chiropractic care. Their services include acupuncture, cold laser, dry needling, infrared light therapy, massage therapy, cupping, ultrasound, and sports physicals. Just like they keep your Quad City Storm on the ice, they have what you need to keep performing, whether it be in the field, at work, or at play. From infants to adults, their skilled practitioners are there to take care of your whole family.
Go Storm!
Speaking of which, that'll get us over to our player of the week. Maybe unexpected for me, I actually had player of the week as Stachevsky.
Yeah,
he had
a couple
3
of good
goals.
Weeks now.
He had 3 goals. One of those, the shootout winner, and he was a +3 on the weekend. And
that's
for
a great weekend.
The player of the week,
an Evansville killer. Brent Moran. The guy just does it all, night in and night out. I mean, they got outshot 45-20 on Saturday, and yet they still walk away with 2 points. So I mean, I don't think you can really put the first star anywhere else but on the back of Brent Moran.
Absolutely. Heading into the play of the week, so for me, I had kind of a unique choice for this one as well. My favorite play in the whole week was actually watching Sanders step in to fight after Massey gets smoked, because not so much of the play itself, but from what it is showing this team is turning into.
Like they're buying in.
Yeah, like they are playing for each other.
Yeah.
And it's showing, and it's the wins
like
are picking
family,
up here. And
that's awesome. I like that.
I think Sanders has. I mean, he's got potential to be even past the SP at this point. But if he stays here, he will be a cornerstone piece for years to come. But,
big words.
You play of the week.
Yeah, the play of the week for me is Saturday night. There's I think 3 minutes left in overtime, and we're talking, and I say I hope it goes to a shootout because I believe. And yeah, so that's going to be my play. Like he did his move and then added this variation to it to bring it back to the backhand. Just had, man, that's nasty. That's my play of the week.
Oh, yeah, that was a pretty sick
contender
one.
For move of the year.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Following it up with the standings check-in, we are in the final playoff spot currently. We need 3 points to clinch.
That's it.
The last playoff spot.
4 games, 3 points.
We are currently 6 points ahead of Macon with the same amount of games played. We are 3 points behind Evansville with 1 less game played.
Yeah.
So currently, right now, the playoff picture is looking like we're going to play Peoria. However, if
Evansville shits the bed,
if Evansville loses a couple and we manage to not lose, which is very possible because we have Knoxville coming up, and we haven't lost.
The boys are just buzzing. Honestly, there's a lot of good things going on in that locker room.
So, if we'd managed to jump Evansville, we would actually have Huntsville in the first round. And I don't know if maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but I would almost prefer having Peoria over Huntsville.
I want that too.
Yeah, just because we know what Peoria brings, and I mean rivalry first off, and secondly, we've played Peoria a billion times.
Yeah,
we know what they bring, and we know how they play. Whereas Huntsville, we've played them once this year, or I guess twice, but
they're just as good.
Yeah, and so...
But they're more of an unknown.
Exactly, so I would rather go with the known so you can plan around it.
Yeah, and it's just 90 minutes away. It's, in theory, we could go to all 3 games.
Yep. So it's just nicer to have it closer to home.
Yeah, that's what I'd like as well.
Yeah. So we'll follow that up with the roster check-in for this week.
Oh, boy. It's a doozy.
Recent adds is Dante DePonio. So
sick.
I'm really like Dante DePonio's game. A note for his college statistics: he's a defenseman. He was plus 34 across his 4 years of college.
Yeah, so he's just always out there for doing good things.
Yeah, and he had 35 points in 71 games, so decent offensive contributor.
Sounds like a two-way guy. I mean, I feel like I saw it in his game on Friday.
He is, again, he's like Sanders, just so fast, a quick, fast kid. Following that up with our notable absences for the weekend, Whelan Parrish was scratched for the second game, which was interesting. So also a good note is suspended in our suspended check-in here.
Oh, yeah.
Is also Dante DePonio,
who
took the suspension after getting hit from behind on his first pro game.
It's
on
probably a little bit
Thursday.
of pro jitters, you know.
Right. And then following it up with the IR, we have Dom Dumas, Cole Golka, Nick Levesque, Alex Hudson, Cole Crowder, and Austin Pickford, all on IR.
Say it 3 times fast.
My Lord. Our IR list is building up quickly. And then on call-up still is Reed Perpeluk with Allen Americans and Jordan Henderson with Tahoe Night Monsters. Excuse me. And also on team suspension, Jan Slok.
He never came.
So we're going to go ahead and follow that up with our upcoming preview for these upcoming weekend's games. We have Birdies for Charity Night and Hockeytown QC Night, both at home against Knoxville.
Oh, yeah. Those are a couple of big nights.
So 2 home games against Knoxville, who just beat Macon for us, so thanks for that.
Yeah, right?
In net, they have Virastek, who has a 3.65 and a .890 on the year, and Mundinger, who has a 3.03 and then .908.
You know, Mundinger never plays well against the Storm.
Yeah, I think we've lit him up the last few times that we've played him.
No, I crunched his career stats against QC, and it's like he's like 5 GAA.
Oh, wow.
Barely cracking 800. It's like it was like 5.25.
Oh, wow.
It's like 812. It was every time they play him, they light him up.
So let's hope we'll keep that run going here.
Yeah, hopefully they start him. Sweetest gear in the league, though. Honestly, his setup with the cream pads with the orange and purple. Oh man, sweet setup.
Oh yeah. Leading the Ice Bears in points currently is Osick with 40 points in 49 games, and then in goals it's going to be McKinney with 23 goals in 44 games.
Yeah, he just had a hat trick, I think.
In their game against Macon, I believe.
So he's starting to kind of 23 goals. That's I think tied for 5th in the league.
Yeah.
I think it's a big tie though. There's like a handful of guys with 23 goals.
And looking at the last games that we played, the Ice Bears, we played them in October a couple times, and we beat them 5-0 and 4-3.
Yeah,
in
again,
October.
Mundinger games.
Yeah, so 9 goals.
Smoked his ass.
And then also in January we played them, and we beat them 6-5 and 4-2. Again, 10 goals over the weekend. So we are 4-0 against the Ice Bears on the year. And like I said earlier, 3 points clinches the playoff spot. So we get 1.5 wins this weekend.
Yeah, 1.5 will do
We're
it.
in on
3
the
overtime, 3 overtime losses. Like however we get there. I mean, preferably just to have
a couple wins.
2 wins will do it.
Speaking of which, we'll go ahead and follow that up with our Nostradamus numbers. Luckily, with the reprieve last week, you are still only 2 points down.
Well, I think that I should just automatically get it because you know what I was going to predict.
See, there is no evidence for this, so unfortunately,
just saying,
circumstantial. Anyhow, I'm currently in the lead 6-4, but we'll go ahead and follow it up with our predictions for this week. Why don't you head it off?
Predictions for this week? All right, I'm going to go out there a little bit. I'm going to go out there and say that they start Mundinger in the game 1, and it's a blowout. And then they start Virastek,
I think.
And then that's going to be a close game. Win, though.
All right, and I'm actually going to agree with you again. So I'm going to go 2 wins here, and so we're in the same boat. And so there will be no movement next week.
Yeah, either way.
So the keys to the game, for me, the keys to the games this weekend are going to be, 1, just to stay hot and stick with the energy that they've had over the last few games.
Yeah.
Because it's been rolling real well. And then for the second key is using the new tools of the young kids properly and making sure that everyone is where they need to be and not overplaying people too much since we have so many young legs. And then the last key for me is going to be to maintain the physical and toughness that they've had over the last 3 games, because I think that's how they need to play in order to be effective.
I like that. Those are all good points. One of my points was I hope that the veteran leadership in the locker room steps up, because I think the divide's pretty high now between it being like kind of seasoned guys and really wet guys. So the veteran leadership needs to step up and really show the young guys what to do. Step 2 is get shots. Mundinger's big goalie. He's not very get it low, get it 5-hole. That's always going to work well against a guy like that. And the third key is special teams. Keep firing the special teams. Have been playing well, high level lately. So,
yeah, definitely keep up on the penalty kill and the power play, which have been struggles at times. So, definitely keep up on that. And lastly, we're going to follow it up with the player to watch for the weekend. For me, I had down DePonio.
Oh yeah,
because he had an incredible first game. Unfortunately, catching a suspension. But I think there's a lot more to his game that he can show us. And I'm excited to see what he does this weekend. I think he's going to make an impact.
That's a great player to watch. I like that. I've just really fallen in love with the guy's game. It's number 52, Devin Sanders.
Yeah, he's going to score.
He's a spark plug, breakout specialist. He's always pushing the puck out, pushing the play. Love the way he plays. Definitely slot him down for at least a goal.
I agree with you there.
+2,
right. And so that will wrap up episode 9 of the Forecast. A quick and simple one for you this time around. We'll have more for you next week on episode 10.
Outstanding.
Yes, and let's hope the boys will be talking about the playoff picture in the next one here.
As long as they win, we'll stand.
So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.